reason for anyone from a township to go to a mayor's conference. A mayor's conference is a mayor's conference for mayors.
Legal appointment, that's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel to figure out their next step.
Brace yourself, because today we're diving into one of the most shocking scandals currently rocking suburban Chicago. This story has it all: allegations of corruption, misuse of taxpayer funds, political retaliation, and now the FBI is officially on the case. Yes, we're talking about Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed super mayor of Dolton, Illinois, who also holds the role of township supervisor for Thornton. If her name rings a bell, it's because she's been making headlines nonstop, and not for the right reasons. From extravagant parties to accusations of political intimidation, this unfolding drama just keeps getting more intense. Let's break it all down.
It saddens my heart that you are up here at this special meeting and not downstairs where we have big meetings.
What's the latest on Tiffany Henyard, and why is the FBI taking interest? Buckle up. This story is about to get wild. It all began with murmurs about Henyard's shady dealings, but no one expected the scandal to run this deep. For nearly 2 years, accusations of corruption have been swirling, and now the consequences are finally catching up to her. Business owners, village employees, and even trustees are speaking out, alleging a tangled web of corruption and power plays. And now the FBI has stepped in, ready to untangle the chaos.
Unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. So, but like I said, you have just some kind of...
Where did it all go wrong? Well, according to her critics, Tiffany Henyard has been living the high life, at the taxpayers' expense. We're talking extravagant trips, excessive spending on personal security, and alleged strong-arming of local businesses to fund her political campaigns. It's a mess, and the people of Dolton are outraged. So how did the FBI get involved? Business owners in Dolton have been facing unexpected hurdles, not because of the economy, but because they refuse to play along with Henyard's political agenda. And now, the truth is finally coming to light.
And that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany.
One of the most shocking cases involves Lawrence Gardner, the owner of a U-Haul rental and trucking business in Dolton. Gardner claims his business license renewal was denied, simply because he refused to donate to a civic event backed by Henyard. But it didn't end there. He alleges that after declining to contribute, he became a target, facing harassment from Dolton police and even a raid on his business, seemingly in retaliation. That was the last straw for Gardner. Instead of staying quiet, he took his concerns straight to the FBI, and he's not alone.
One way that the government always does it is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing here.
He's not the only one. Several other business owners in Dolton have reported similar experiences. Dwayne Wood, a local restaurant owner, believes he's also being targeted. His restaurant has catered events for Dolton trustees who oppose Henyard, and now, shockingly, he's facing obstacles in renewing his business license. Coincidence? Highly unlikely. Wood hasn't spoken directly to the FBI, but he's convinced his business is being blackballed solely because of his ties to Henyard's political opponents.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
This isn't just an isolated incident, it's starting to look like a pattern. Another lawsuit, this time from George's Towing, accuses Henyard of deliberately blocking their business license. The reason? You guessed it. They allegedly refused to donate to her political campaign. This sounds like something straight out of a crime drama. You're not alone. This small-town scandal has everyone talking, and now the public is demanding answers.
Fired her chief of police late last year without any approval from the village board. So now Robert Collins has filed a lawsuit against.
And that's where the FBI steps in. They've been quietly investigating for a while now, interviewing witnesses, collecting evidence, and even using electronic surveillance to dig into the allegations against Henyard. According to reports, federal agents have been spotted around Dolton Village Hall. While they're keeping the details under wraps, one thing is becoming clear. They're looking into everything from political intimidation to financial mismanagement. And speaking of finances, the accusations don't stop at pressuring businesses. It gets even worse. Henyard is also accused of recklessly misusing taxpayer dollars, reportedly funding personal travel, luxury accommodations, and even overtime pay for her personal security detail, all with village money. That's right. Allegedly, hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars have gone toward keeping Henyard protected around the clock. And now furious residents want to know why
is in a situation where she feels like she's under attack.
To put things into perspective, Dolton isn't some sprawling metropolis with endless resources. It's a small village. So the idea of taxpayer money being funneled into first-class travel and extravagant parties isn't sitting well with residents. For years, village trustees have raised red flags about budget concerns, but those warnings have largely been ignored. Now, with the FBI involved, many are hopeful that the truth will finally come to light.
Township residents are paying for her.
One of the most damning pieces of evidence against Henyard, her extravagant trip to Las Vegas with her entourage. Business trips aren't unusual, but this one has all the makings of a full-blown scandal. For starters, the cost was outrageously high, but that's just the beginning. Allegations suggest the trip wasn't entirely business-related. Now, a lawsuit accuses Henyard of retaliating against a former employee who spoke out about inappropriate behavior during the trip. Henyard's former assistant, along with a police officer, has filed a civil suit claiming they were wronged by the village's leadership. While details are still unfolding, this is the last kind of attention a sitting mayor wants, especially when already under federal investigation. And if you thought she'd welcome an internal investigation to clear things up, think again. Henyard outright vetoed a proposal that would have launched an inquiry into her spending. Instead of embracing transparency, she shut it down, only fueling more suspicion. What is she hiding? But village trustees aren't backing down. They've made it clear they plan to override her veto and get to the bottom of it. For now, though, it's just more political drama unfolding at heated village meetings. In one particularly tense session, frustrated residents and trustees demanded answers. Instead of engaging in discussion, Henyard had one resident removed after they accused her of stealing from the village. Not exactly a good look when the public already suspects corruption.
Very appreciative to receive the information today. We have the best mayor ever. I've been here since 1993.
Just when you thought things couldn't get worse, think again. Dolton's financial crisis has spiraled so far out of control that the village's own law firm has dropped them as a client. That's right. The firm representing Dolton in nearly 20 lawsuits has walked away, simply because the village can't afford to pay its legal bills. Henyard's mismanagement has pushed Dolton to the brink of financial collapse, leaving even the lawyers jumping ship. In a formal letter, Delgado Law announced its decision to withdraw from all cases due to non-payment of fees. How did things get this bad? While the full picture remains unclear, one thing is certain: Dolton is drowning in millions of dollars. In debt. With the FBI closing in, lawsuits piling up, and the village in financial ruin, you might expect Tiffany Henyard to lay low or at least address the crisis. Instead, she's doing the exact opposite, hosting lavish parties and posting on social media as if nothing is wrong. One of her recent events, the Friends of Tiffany Henyard picnic, looked an awful lot like a campaign rally. There were food giveaways, bounce houses, and even a skating rink. The catch? Village trustees refused to fund the event, calling it a political stunt disguised as a community gathering. Henyard insists she paid for it out of her own pocket. But with Dolton's financial state in shambles, the timing raises some serious questions.
Who would make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon? And the main thing is,
if there's one thing Tiffany Henyard doesn't lack, it's confidence. At the picnic, she took the microphone and passionately declared her innocence, insisting she has never taken anything in her life and that God chose her to lead the people. It might have been a powerful message, if not for the serious allegations swirling around her. With each new revelation, it's becoming harder for residents to believe her. When pressed about her spending, Henyard dismissed the criticism, claiming, "People are simply trying to control her because she's a strong, independent woman." That's a bold stance to take while under federal investigation, but Tiffany isn't backing down. Meanwhile, the people of Dolton aren't buying it. Frustration and betrayal are growing in the community, with one resident bluntly stating, "Doltan, Residents need to forcibly remove them from their offices, change all the passwords and door locks, and cancel all the credit cards. It has happened in other cities and states. Others are calling for justice, with one especially outspoken resident declaring, "Lock up these scammers and her minions too. I don't forget about them. They will blame her for it, but they are guilty too." But Henyard isn't just facing backlash from frustrated residents, Daltons. Firefighters have also come forward with alarming accusations. They claim she embezzled money from their retirement fund, and some are too afraid to speak out publicly for fear of retaliation. Let that sink in. The very people who risk their lives to protect the community are afraid of their own mayor. It's a chilling reality that fits the pattern of intimidation reported by many in the village.
Wrong is wrong, and there's a time to hold people responsible and accountable for them.
There's no telling how this will all play out, but one thing is certain. Dalton is watching, and so is the rest of the country. The FBI investigation is still ongoing, and with new allegations surfacing almost every week, Henyard faces an uphill battle. Should Tiffany Henyard step down, or does she deserve a chance to clear her name? Is this political sabotage, or is it time for Dalton to clean house? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. This story is far from over.